Don't do any sort of sprint interval training, usually for folks, unless they have a background and they're pretty well conditioned systemically when they're coming in. But for the person who was currently not doing any conditioning and wanted to start, that's not my prediction that they have a good base of aerobic fitness, for example. So I'll start at this point around week 5 or week 6 with some exposure to high intensity interval training, which basically just means stuff above zone 2. So we're talking zones 3 and zone 4, mostly aerobic intervals, and they're not all out efforts. They're not maximal efforts. They're RP 6, 7, 8 type efforts. And so, we're talking about intervals that last from 3 to 7 minutes, something like that, with some either lighter or easier work periods in between. So lower intensity work periods in between the interval efforts. Just trying to expose people to these different sort of intensities. Overall, majority of the stuff should be low and slow. Um, you know, zone 1, zone 2 stuff, but you can even do intervals within zone 1 and zone 2. Do that for a lot of individuals that have some maybe respiratory limitations, or prefer that sort of approach rather than just continuous aerobic training. And yeah, some exposure to these faster and shorter efforts, about 20% of the total training volume. So of the 150-minute per week sort of minimum that we're trying to work towards, about 120 minutes of that should be low and slow, and then about 30 minutes can be a little bit faster, and some interval type efforts.